Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Stasis, Bone Totem. We're in the rover with Moses at the moment. We've just blown through a rock wall into some sort of space beyond. We're going to go and investigate. Ooh. Interesting. So what have we got? Rubble. Okay, we're going to go through. There's an emblem there. Might have a little look at that as we go through. Is this something to do with the Russians? It does look like it, doesn't it? Is this a Russian sub? The star-hilted sword, backlit by a radiant cog, an infamous emblem of the long-defunct Soviet Union, and a decrepit batch of ownership for whoever built this structure. So it's a structure as opposed to a sub, maybe?
Charlie Mac, you should see this.
Oh my god. Look at it.
It is a sub.
It's a sub.
And by no means a modern one.
It's Soviet. Oh my god.
The subject of much debate when it was found. A new variable in an already impossible equation.
It's sunk here. What happened to the crew?
They survived the crash. For a time. But there was no escape. There was only sacrifice. And pain.
Explains the bodies we saw.
Oh. Do we go through the sub? Oh, on top of it. Okay, little bear. We've got rock.
Still in pretty good shape, all things considered.
Guessing we can't just drive it out of here?
I don't think that would go well for anybody. No.
Okay, so something over there. Something over there as well. Hatch. Alright, let's check out the hatch.
Mac, dangerous.
Yeah, Bear, you got that right. Grenade rigged. It'll explode if it's opened.
They were trying to keep something out.
No prizes for guessing. I guess we'll leave that for now. There's a document.
A giant plate.
No, Moses. It's a satellite dish.
They were trying to contact the outside world.
It hums. I can feel it.
It is still active, yes. A modified version of the submarine's communication systems.
After all this time, it's still transmitting?
It is how the site was first discovered. By Kane deep-sea rovers. Ironic. Only now, after no one is left to rescue, was a distress signal finally received.
See what this says. It's a letter from one of the Russian sailors, Georgy Maximilai, seaman. My dearest Anastasia, I write to you from the ocean's depths with a heavy heart and a longing soul. I fear that I may never see you again, and I must pour out my heart to you in this letter, lest it burst with the weight of my love. I have seen an incredible event that has shaken me to my core. As I stood upon the deck of our Lima, my face and arms on fire, I tussled with the captain. Then the shadows came upon us. They had assailed our captain, intent on dragging him down to their watery lair. As I watched in horror, and then something miraculous happened. They stopped their attack. Instead, they took him in their loving arms and carried him away. I do not know why they spared him or what fate awaits him in this underwater kingdom. But I know I saw a glimmer of mercy in their cold eyes, and I felt a strange sense of awe and wonder, as if the very fabric of the universe had been torn asunder. My love for you will burn bright until my end. Yours forever, Georgie. Okay. Can we get up here? I don't think we can, but it might be possible. He's running there. Oh, he can. Alright, so what's over here then? Another area. Well, let's check this one out first.
They stayed here, but they are gone now.
Yeah, if they sunk, how long could they have survived?
With whatever supplies they had? Not long.
Pretty lights.
Mac, he's right. Look. Bioluminescence.
Explains a lot.
I think we have to assume that the Russian sailors also resorted to cannibalism. I think we've seen as much suggested previously. This is Seaman Dmitry Panzerdolphin, Gronk, radio operator. 1st of April, 82. Akula was deployed to great success. The housing of piezoelectric ceramics and magnetostrictive rare earth alloys produced the Ulf underwater signal as planned. One more test and we can go home. 11th of April 82. Boynya's nowhere to be seen. He's hiding in his sanctuary, muttering to himself. He's not taking the lieutenant's death well. Andre, you intractable bastard, look what you've left me with. The officers have gone into a spin and the seamen are following suit. You know I'm not cut out for leadership. That was a game for you and for the captain. Now I've got no choice. I'll hold the line until Boynya comes to his senses and then we'll be square. Andrukya, square. The situation is this. O2, not a problem in the short term. Air filters weren't damaged in the fire. We might get a bit woozy now and then, but we won't go out like Komarov. Water. The recycler should last indefinitely, assuming the pumps don't give out. No use worrying about it now. Food. That's our weak point. Igorovich estimates we've only got 2 days' worth, even with rationing. How did that wannabe Tolstoy let the men clobber him like this? That's what we get for leaving a kid in charge of the food. I gave it my best, Andrukya, but this isn't my lane. Although the menial tasks I assigned kept their minds off hunger for a couple of days, so that's something. Okay. I can hear them even up here in sonar, shouting, cursing each other, cursing the captain and me too. Combined with the clatter of debris hitting the Lima's hull, it's quite the symphony. Not maddening at all. Akula is offline and the sonar's cooked, but I knew that already, just using my own tricks on myself. Now it'll take more work to ignore the gnawing pain in my stomach. Brain death might work. Turns out Komarov was way ahead on that mark. Komarov. Just lying in the pantry. Useless. Wasted. Chilled. Burke's alive. I'm not even surprised. If anyone was going to survive that, it would be him. More stubborn than my warts, that one. He picked the wrong pipes to tap on, though. The Joker wouldn't recognise Morse code if it was tapped directly on his skull. I'll hold off telling Kisa for now. No telling what that hothead would do. I should tell the captain, though. Might finally pull him out of his daze. Get him and poor Sergei out of the cabin. He's lucky the men are busy losing their own minds, or there'd be more judgment. Andre's not a fan of what we're doing. Can't say I blame him, but it's too late. Something is very wrong. That was not the Boynya I know. He's had bolts of the cloth peek out from under his uniform before, but mostly he kept his faith to himself. Not tonight. I would call it religious mania if he hadn't remained so damn calm, even while beating Stukov half to death for taking a bite first. Afterwards he stood and spoke about how we must purify ourselves, knowing what we're about. What we did. 3 straight days of bone broth is enough to make starvation appealing. Seems I'll get my wish soon enough, though. No leftover corpses now. Kisa knows. He's been hanging around Igorovich since appointing himself the chef's bodyguard. Must have heard the pipe, same as I did. Now he's stormed off to confront Boynya. He's got a temper like a volcano. When I tried to stop him, he turned around and asked if our positions were reversed, would Andre have stopped trying to save me? Kid's got a point. I found Sergei comforting Stas as he sobbed over a half-butchered Kisa yesterday. I made a joke about seasoning. He did not appreciate it. Well, I got what I wanted. It was more a snarl than a sob, but it was an expression of emotion that wasn't religious zealotry. My plan backfired, though. He locked himself in his cabin again. Bastard may have murdered Kisa, but he and his purifying path were the only things holding these animals back from indiscriminately ripping each other apart. Things are about to get very ugly, and the mirror isn't exactly our friend now. That's it, we reached the endgame. The water recycler gasped its last. Sorry, boys, no amount of carnage will get you out of this one. At least I'll get to die in my little comms hidey hole. I've grown quite fond of it up here. 12th May 82, 6th May 82. Interesting. An unexpected laws of nature defying development. We're saved. By Boynya no less, although it wasn't his intention. He was probably hoping to be greeted by some biblical scourge when he opened the main hatch, or at least the crushing embrace of deep-sea currents. He wasn't expecting breathable air and potable water. His woeful howling was eloquent on this point. So they didn't realise they weren't underwater. So they were still in the sub for all his previous part, I assume. Well, that's one mystery solved. He who doesn't take risks never drinks champagne. During my sojourn in comms, I had a crack at fixing the transmitter. I was successful, but something was causing interference and preventing me from even attempting to send a transmission. Turns out it's these blue crystals sprouting up everywhere. They're phosphorescent, produce heat, and give me the heebie-jeebies, just like all the other local attractions. But now I know. Igorovich is savvier than I gave him credit for. He understands the deal, but he's got a good heart, which worries me. I'll have to keep an eye on him. I found a perfect spot for the relay. There's a point at the furthest edge of our little grotto with no crystals. No crystals, no interference. Once I get it working, I'm not setting foot in that sub again. It was hellish before, but now it's just plain creepy and stinks of an abattoir. And you can hear Boynya's gibbering throughout the whole damn ship. I'm broadcasting an honest-to-God SOS. No way to know if it can penetrate the huge pile of rocks between us and the surface, but at least it's going out. Who knows, maybe we won't die here after all. Maybe these men's last memories won't be of eating their friends. Dream big, I say. That was hard to watch, even for me. The worst part? They didn't really want to kill poor Sergei. They were disgusted by his whimpering, by Igorovich's grovelling, but I saw it in their faces. They were all so ashamed. So Boynia had to do it. I didn't see him approach. He had Sergei on the altar, with Goncharov's knife across his throat before anyone had a chance to move. Then he was off again, leaving the men to deal with the aftermath of his inscrutable actions. Dmitri, Alexei, and Kirill have left us without a goodbye. June 2nd. That craven bastard. I couldn't stand it. I went to confront Boynia about Sergei. He was just sitting there, mumbling to himself as always. He didn't acknowledge me, didn't even seem to know I was there. So I decided to look around and found a loose wall panel. How did I not see it? He never ate with us, just read his interminable sermons. He hadn't left the lemur in weeks, but was healthy enough to heave all of Sergei's weight onto the altar. Rations. Pack upon pack stuffed into that crawl space. Pathetic hypocrite. Traitorous swine, skulking cursed thing. I'll put you out of your misery. I was about to kill him, but when I grabbed his dirty matted hair and looked into his eyes, I saw nothing. Nothing at all. Boynia had been dead for a while, his body just hadn't caught up yet. I didn't tell the men about the stash. His hold on their minds is disintegrating anyway. Best spare them the pain of betrayal. The things you can do with a bit of Russian know-how. Some pH paper, a few pearls of our old friend sodium hydroxide, an altruistic desire to get wasted, and bang, you've got alcohol. You could run a car on this hooch, but I don't think the men's palates are at peak performance. Let's have some fun. My reputation as a cold, feckless degenerate is not entirely undeserved, but there is a limit to any man's capacity for denial. It was all my fault. I pushed the captain to go deeper into the caves, ignoring Andrei. I gave him the idea to use Komarov. I let Kisa charge headlong into engineering, knowing the captain had stationed a guard there. On and on and on. At least I helped provide a night of laughter and mirth for the men. That counts for something. Gone. Everything and everyone is gone. Those things, whatever they were, laid waste to our oceanside sanatorium. Boynya's rations are gone. The water is polluted with blood. The things dragged Boynia from the lemur as he screamed his head off about his last chance. No idea how they knew he was in there. Farewell, Kolya. Non-being is better than madness. My solitude is complete. Should have made fewer jokes about using Stasis' corpse as furniture these last days. Too much truth in those jokes now. It is peaceful though, here by the water, next to my steadfast little transmitter. I jerry-rigged the busted water recycler into a passable hydroelectric turbine. I reckon it will keep the batteries going for a couple of years, maybe more. It's a clever bit of engineering. Here's hoping someone else will get the chance to appreciate it. Now, time to sleep. Not a happy ending for the guys. Got some graves.
Poor sailors. Poor people.
Their minds wouldn't be a part of the Nexus. It didn't exist then.
Okay, just a dead body. Might be something useful in one of them, I suppose.
Hello, I am Moses.
They were buried in their uniforms.
Charlie Mac, is it a
Okay.
puzzle?
No, Bear. It's a booby trap. Be careful with that.
Interesting.
Use the arm. Bear trap with a arm. What's this? Dagger with chain. It's a sword like old-timey movies. Okay. Cave insects. Hammock. Pots with bone. Probably not much more to do here apart from leave. I wonder if it's just a circle. Yeah, seems like. Okay, so Matt, can you do anything with this new stuff that we found?
Arm shot from the bear trap. But this synthetic skin is something else.
About the dagger with chain.
Wow. Did you really just do that?
Trick is, breaking the chain off as close to the hilt as you can.
Cool trick.
Okay. So I've got this door mechanism. Could I sort of stop it in place with that? No. Oh.
Got it open. I can reach the wheel now.
Smart Mac.
Depends on what's behind it.
Alright, let's get Mac out of here. Troglodyte. This man thing lies broken, dark fluids running from a shattered cowl and burst body. Ooh. Bone piles. Alright, let's look at the milling mechanism.
The grinding wheel dislodged. Gotta disconnect the main wheel from the milling stone. Somehow. Wood piece got jammed in the rivets.
Can you get it out?
No. Tension from the wheels got it wedged. Only way, maybe, would be to cut it.
Okay, maybe Charlie can rig something up. It's got to be something like this, isn't it? Let's just take everything. Yeah, that was my big plan. What else can we do?
Together, these
Oh.
two guys should let you see sound waves, even the tiniest vibrations and sounds. I think I might be a genius.
Ignoring you.
I mean, it's good, but I'm not quite sure what we'd use it for yet. I can't believe we've still got this scrubber thing. I've no idea what we're going to end up using it for. Okay. He needs a cutting implement. Where's the bear at the moment? Oh, yeah. I don't suppose he can get that grenade off, can he? Oh.
Great. Now it's got a grenade.
Oh, we can go in the sub now. Alright, before we look at the document, let's look at this thing.
Spiders. I do not like it here. This is no place for children to play.
More than that, it is a tomb.
Charlie Mac, the pictures. These are useful.
You're right, Mose. Those are escape suits.
If any of them are left.
You could use them to reach the surface. They would likely survive the water pressure outside.
Moses, we need those suits. Do you understand?
I will find them. I am a very smart bear now.
Aid him in his search. while I still have time.
Ooh, battery. Well, we know what we need to do with that, don't we? So we'll go back to Mac. Yeah, we're still not in a position to do much about that right now, but at least we can get to it. So let's go down to the charger. Hopefully it's one of those instant battery chargers that we all know about, and not one of the ones that I know about that take 8 or so hours. It's probably an instant charger, isn't it? I'd imagine. One of those famous things. Alright, let's do it. Alright, what am I doing wrong? Ah. Cool, nice and instant. Well, let's head back to Bear. Should we put the live grenade in there? Oh, maybe the skin. Oh,
It rumbles.
The bear got the hydraulics going.
Good job, Mose. Search the sub. You have to find those suits.
My Charlie.
Alright, well, let's look at the document now. This is Stanislav Igorovich, seaman stroke chef. Yelena Igorovich, I'm troubled. The comrade captain ordered me to do a terrible thing, an act that will leave an indelible black mark upon my heart. Yet it may be the only way to stop this crew from tearing each other apart. Are 27 lives worth the price of my soul? These musings are moot. I dare not refuse, and Gronk waits outside, listening to my pipes. I know that man is eccentric and dangerous, but what a time to inspect my plumbing. Regardless, the path ahead leads deeper into the dark. I will need you in my heart, a beacon. Yours always, Stas. Yelena, I've begun my work. I hate to describe it as such, but I know not what else to call it. My burden? My shame? At least I helped Komarov get the last laugh. He'd always ask me to make golubsti. I'm sure he would enjoy forcing the men to eat boiled cabbage one last time. I thought it would just be Komarov. I thought we were giving him dignity, creating life in death, but it only led to more death, to a hunger for it. When the captain brought Kisa to me, he broke the seal. Gonchodov has assembled a pack. They've been taking other crew members, delivering them to me fresh. They guard me at all times, so I'm not free in my actions. The other survivors have been rounded up, tied in the next room. We have no refrigeration. Every day I'm sent in to peel another portion from one of them. Each time they beg me to end it, between their sobbed screams. The knife in my hand would be a final hope if I dared. I do not. I am weak. Forgive me, Lena. Oh, man. Being freed from the lemur has been good for the men's psyches. They are mostly their old selves. Even the few prisoners left alive seem content to forget everything that happened mere hours ago. I don't know if I can do that. It weighs on me. I cannot sleep. The campsite is calm. Sergei freed himself from the captain's grip and remains with us now. There is no need for further violence with all the dead left from those last hellish days. Water is plentiful, but I cannot sleep. I have cured most of the meat. It will last for weeks now. That is as much as I can stand. Before, hunger would let me ignore my conscience, but now as I try to sate this ache in my stomach, I see their faces and hear their screams. How has Gronk remained apart from it all? He never comes for the meat. The shadows are watching us. Captain was right. There are demons here. Lenotchka, I'm saved. I followed Gronk. He found edible algae growing around the crystals deeper in the cave. He has agreed to share it with me. I begged him to tell the crew, but he stared at me like I was a fool. To feed everyone, we would have to go deeper into the shadows. We both know that is not an option. There's something there, something more dangerous even than our disturbed comrades. My love, I think this will be my last letter to you. My wound festers, and Dmitri is not the most exemplary nurse, despite his protestations to the contrary. We buried those we could find, a sailor's grave for all. At least, in the end, the ocean will be a place of rest for them, rather than one of horror. I know you will never see these notes. All the same, I love you. Stas. Let's head on further in.
I do not like this.
What was this? A prison?
Oh, no. It was a pantry.
Kane.
Dead bodies. What's further down here? Seasoning accoutrement. Well, let's do the top deck before we go down. More documents.
This is a door. But how can it open?
The radiation door, my friend. It would only open in cases of exposure. The escape suits would lie beyond it. You must open it.
Radiation.
In the possibility of a hull breach, the watertight seal will be deployed, unless radioactive materials are detected in the torpedo room. Okay, I don't know. We don't have anything that's atomic at the moment.
Another bomb.
This one's a little more powerful, Bear.
Is that a nuke?
Yes, a smaller warhead, designed for minimal fallout, maximum destruction. And likely radioactive, after all this time. A relic of another era.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Obviously we can't do what we need to do right now. Only a couple of things here. This is Lieutenant Andre Burke, Junior Lieutenant Engineer. While I'm cut off and likely to soon perish, I do so with a light heart, knowing that Nikolai will protect the men, including my brother Kisa, to his last breath. If they must face death, he will guide them to a noble end. Kisa, I pray that you remember my advice to you. Do not let your emotions control you. You are a good man and a fine sailor. You have won the men's respect by your virtues, as I knew you would. Please, Nikolai, I know you do not trust him, but he is a good man, the best I've ever known. Gronk is a genius and at his core a decent person, but he will not be able to support Nikolai alone. He will need your strength. Please, brother, do this for me. Dmitri, do not do. No going back. Save their souls. I don't know Morse code, but maybe those lines translate to those. I lost 2 people today. Kisa is dead by the hand of the man I trusted most. I know his murder is not my fault, but I cannot help feeling it is my responsibility, and this burden weighs too heavily. I've lost my dear brother who only wanted to protect those in need, and my closest friend. Whoever that man is out there, it is not the Nikolai I knew. There's no reason left for me to fight. I'd apologise for leaving you alone with this mess, Dmitri, but you just tell me to stop pissing around and get on with it. And so I shall. Handprints. Okay. Alright, so there was a place to get down, so we'll go do that. I've got a library.
Books, Charlie.
All rotting where they lay.
Captain must have been a religious guy.
One of the old religions. Russian Orthodox would make sense.
Before Cain killed God. Relics. Memories of the lost that no one even remembers. All those who pass suffer this fate. To be forgotten.
Not everyone. I will never forget hope.
You are an empathic spirit, my friend. I admire you.
Farhan, stay awake, Farhan.
I am trying, Moses. With all my strength.
Shiny. A puzzle.
An impossible one, I'm afraid. The numbers on the dials have worn off. Or were never there.
Nothing is impossible.
Oh. Okay. There we go. I think I didn't do the first one. That should be it, right? Oh, yeah.
Ingenious Mosses.
Cleverest bear.
Watching you is inspirational. I am glad I am here for the story. However it ends, I am unsure to what depths of despair I would sink without you, my friend.
Torpedo key. And a flare. Okay, I'm... Odna... Dva, tri, čtyři. So it's one, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Will I need to know that? I don't know. There's... Ooh.
So young. So proud.
Baked beans! Saw without a blade. Well, we have a saw blade. Are we supposed to weigh some? Well, the beans weigh 16. Beans, the magical fruit. Probably important. 16 whatever units that is, ounces or whatever. Captain Nikolai Bonya. Oh, Bonya was the captain. Okay, Lima, captain first rank. The Lima is no longer operational. We are stranded. Andre is gone, drowned. He went against both my advice and direct orders. I had no choice but to seal off all of engineering when the flooding started. He should have followed orders. He should have listened. God protect us all. A tribulation, that's what this is. A test from God to gauge if we are worthy of rejoining him. The devils outside try our minds, while inside we tear at our own hearts. But they must understand, this is his way. He is faithful and just. If we confess our sins, he will forgive and purify us from all unrighteousness. And so we shall be delivered. I shall save these men yet. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined, but the wicked will continue to be wicked. You intended to harm me, Kisa, but God intends all things for good. The completion of our task, the salvation of our souls. None of the wicked will understand, but those who are wise will understand. It is of more importance to the Lord that a man acknowledge and confess his sickness, and cry for help in his heart than with his tongue. For the tongue is capable of deception, but the heart is not. I have failed them. They are lost to sin. Goncharov roams my ship with his pack, his rage unchecked. Igorovich indulges the men's gluttony, disrespecting his sacred duty. Gronk has disappeared entirely, surrendered to sloth. And Sergei succumbs to fits of dread despite my ministrations, my attempts to mould him into a man like Andre. Andre, I failed you most of all. With your strength, we could have saved them. The devil calls to me. They know the time has come. Devils, their calls crescendo in my soul. Okay. I thought I heard the voice of God, but I was wrong. I heard the voice of Satan, but I was wrong again. The mundane notions of man kept fooling me into thinking there was a purpose in our being stranded here. Blah, 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 blah. I hear the devil shrieking again. They are a product of my broken mind, but the shrieks seem so real, so insistent. The putrid rot of sin exacts its toll. I'm certain the other men are suffering too. I could have saved Serasia from his pain, his timorousness, but I cannot grant relief to the others. They would prevent me. There is another way. The torpedoes remain untouched, still bristling with power. Their arming key is hidden in my safe. So will God choose between two men for his house, and will choose not the one who appears outwardly righteous? Blah, 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 blah. I shall bring this demonic circus down, Andre, and rejoin you at last. Right, well, we've got the key. Let's go and activate the bomb, I suppose.
This symbol, it is bad.
You got that right. Looks like it has a radiation shield, too.
Mose, please be careful.
And not just for his sake. That thing goes off, it takes all of us.
Well, number one. Have I got something that could be a screwdriver? Is it doing anything? Alright, let's try some Charlie stuff if I need to fashion it into a screwdriver somehow. I mean, I think it's obvious these have to go together, and I think that's probably what Mac's going to need to do his thing. Alright, well, tell you what, let's go and get rid of the wood. We can definitely do that now, hopefully. There's definitely something to do with that dagger, that needing a screwdriver, but maybe needs a more flat edge? I don't know. This.
Got it. Water wheels free.
Way to go. Now get out of there.
Fast as I can.
Alright, so let's check out. We might still need to do something with the brakes. Gonna have a look at the braking system. Have a tin of baked beans. Have a grenade. What happens if we just get in? Charlie definitely can't do anything with this stuff. Really know what I'm doing. What's the description of all this stuff? Okay. I'm a little... confused just at this moment. Well, yellow... I mean, there is one. Adin is one in Russian. We're missing dva and tri. I did GCSE Russian. I know a little bit. I know to count to 4 at least. But I'm clearly going to need to remember some of those other symbols. So let's just go down and check the library again. I did wonder if I should write those down. I decided not to, but that was obviously wrong. Right, this time. I'll write down the shapes of the symbols, so that's like that 1. It's 2. 3, and then 4 is the 1. 4. Okay. Is there something to do with that knife? I don't feel like it's working quite like I want it to, but the fact that it's doing anything at all is a little odd. So that one's 2. So 3 is 2 straight lines, but I'm not... And what happens if I try one of the other ones? Do I hold it down maybe? That's kind of indicating 3, isn't it? 3 was supposed to be 2 straight lines, but that's not 2 straight lines. Go on, Mac, bend the dagger, or at least do something with it. Well, I paused the video while I was just repeatedly trying this dagger on these screws. To no avail. I mean, I've probably tried this yellow one about 15 times, and it's not doing anything. So I'm assuming that either there hasn't been a trigger yet within the game. Perhaps I haven't sort of advanced one of the other lines enough for this something to happen here where it's possible, maybe involving the dagger becoming more of a screwdriver tool. I don't know. But in any case, I think there is something I can do anyway. Because I think when it was with Charlie, she talked about this flare being used for fire. Obviously, flares are used for fire. And remember, they talked about this gong mechanism as needing maybe some form of ignition. So let's try this on here. Oh no, maybe not on here. Was there? Sure, was there like a... What were we going to set on fire? Was it something near the body? This? Did we try the dagger on this? We probably did. Yeah, there was definitely the suggestion that something was needed to be used with fire, wasn't it? Maybe Maybe it wasn't in here. Why don't we head up? There was that calendar thing right at the top. Maybe it was related to that. If we try going up all these stairs again? Because it did look like it had an impression in it of some kind. Maybe we'll go and have another look at it. Yeah, let's have a look at this again. Have we got anything we can use on this? The grenade. Okay, well, hovering over this rim text, images of a burning river flowing downwards and into a radiating object. That's probably this. Flowing downwards, though. Is there somewhere else I should be going? What was back here? I don't think it could be as far back as here. Something's going off down here, though. Let's have another look down here. Is there something? Ah. Something should be flowing down from there, shouldn't there? Should be flowing down from there. Is there anything? I feel like we need to fill this with something and then use the flare. Okay, so I had to look up a guide to get through past this bit, and actually the solution isn't something I would have naturally thought of, because we have to return to one of these tattooed skin things. I think it's the last one. Might be this one. Apparently, once you've turned all these skulls, the last one, it had like hands and stuff around it. Has changed. It might be this one then. Was that another one? There was a death mask thing with hands around it, I'm sure. Unless it was in the next zone? I don't know. I don't think it was. Okay, let's assume it was. This thing? No. It must be in this upper area. Not that one. This one? Ah. Yes, this one.
What do we have here?
I would never have thought of going back to that one.
I don't like the look of that thing.
They shine like stars.
I guess eventually I would probably have resorted just going through and just clicking on everything within the level, but that's the one we need. So we also have to take note of this thing here. We need the oscilloscope. Or maybe we don't. Apparently I have to copy this sound. It's a bit like a cock crow with a high-pitched note at the very end, isn't it? Okay, so let's go try this on the stone disc, which is the next thing we have to do. We have to repeat that sound up here. I think this puzzle is a little bit non-intuitive, if I had to describe it. A lot of the others have been reasonably intuitive, and I've done okay, but I don't think I'd have done this one without looking at the guide, quite honestly. But let's go and do it now, maybe to end this episode. Now I've kind of invested a lot of time in trying to work it out. Okay, so let's put this in there.
Wow. The engineering, it's amazing. For its age. You said this was a calendar?
Rudimentary technology. Primitive belief system.
That's the first one. Second one. Third one. Maybe that's the first one? Oh, am I going to have to make note of that blimmin'... I thought that was the first one, because it's like a cock crow. Is that one first? Okay. Maybe that's the first one. Did that sound different that time? Okay, try this one. No? Yeah, I don't really get what I did there. It was just random clicking. Seems to have worked though. Alright, let's have a look at the clay oil tank that's come up.
This smells like oil.
That's your flame source. Assuming our new AI overlord knows what it's talking about.
100% accuracy prediction. I am Newman.
Newman. Alright, let's use this.
Whoa!
Screen flashed over here. You okay?
Yeah. Whatever this is, it's really flammable. The heat coming off it is intense.
Rudimentary technology. Primitive culture. A power source.
That's what I'm hoping.
Alright, it's all a bit brighter now. We can run down here.
Holy shit, the whole place looks like it's burning.
Language, Mac.
Thought this whole place burning was what you wanted.
Not with you in it.
walking across hot coals. Yeah, well, this thing's spinning now. So we just give it a whack now, do we?
The fire, it started everything spinning. You act like you're superior to everything here. But you're just as trapped as I am. Just as helpless.
We're all trapped here now. Thanks to you.
Can you not even begin to understand? You hurt her too.
That wasn't her.
Who are you trying to convince? Me? Or you?
Hope is alive.
Let's do it.
I don't like the looks of this.
Indeed. My knowledge of this place ends here. You are about to enter a part of the temple no one has ever explored before. It is impossible to predict what you will find beyond.
I don't see any other choice.
This whole place is connected. We'll find each other. The only way out now is through.
We're all we've got left.
You are wasting time.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think we'll leave it there for this time. So when we come back, we'll delve further into the temple and see what's going on in there. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I found this one enjoyable, but a little bit frustrating on a couple of those puzzles, just where we had the one with the nuke where we kind of knew what we had to do, but for some reason it wasn't working. And this one where I don't think I'd have guessed what to do if I hadn't read a guide saying what to do. But otherwise, I mean, that's the first time in the game I've sort of found the puzzles a little bit non-intuitive. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it anyway, because the story's still good. And if you did enjoy it, if you could hit the thumbs up button on the video, that would be great, as would leaving me a comment about the game. And subscribe as well if you're watching this and haven't done so before. That'd be amazing. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time on Boring Dad Gaming for more Stasis Bone Totem. Bye for now.